Each and every year in the United States alone, there are over 10 million visits to medical doctors for urinary tract infections. Now, urinary tract infections, you might have heard, is referred to as UTIs. And if you're someone who suffers from them, I don't have to tell you how uncomfortable they can make you feel or how disruptive they can be to your entire life. So today I'm going to go through not only how to prevent urinary tract infections, but if you do get one, what you can do naturally to effectively approach it. Hi, I'm Dr. Davis, founder of DavisNutrition.com. I've spent over 20 years in clinical practice helping thousands of patients achieve health by choice rather than simply by chance. It's my mission to make advanced clinical nutrition easy to understand and even easier to implement into your busy lifestyle. As I mentioned previously, there are millions and millions of cases of urinary tract infections reported in the United States each and every year. And it's estimated actually that 60% of women will actually suffer from a UTI at least once in their lifetime, and nearly 25% of women are going to suffer from at least one or more in this year alone. But UTIs aren't just limited to females. Nearly 10% of men and even some children may experience them also. So today I'm going to go through what a UTI is and then the best ways to avoid getting one. And finally, if you do get a UTI, what the most effective natural ways to address it are. Urinary tract infections are an infection of the urethra, the ureters, or the kidney, or the bladder. And so the most common pathogen in this is going to be something called E. coli. Now, E. coli is naturally occurring in our bodies. It doesn't normally create a problem. It lives in a homeostasis with us. However, when there's a change in environment for the E. coli, that's where things kind of get a little bit haywire. One of the best ways we can prevent E. coli from setting up shop is simply by drinking more water. Yes, it's really as simple as that. See, bacteria have these little arms that hold onto the bladder walls and can multiply in that environment. When you're regularly flushing out your bladder by drinking more and more water, you're eliminating them, and therefore they can't really take hold inside the bladder. So a good rule of thumb is drink the amount of water that's equal to 50% of your body weight in ounces. So what's that mean? Take your weight, divide it in half. So if you're 200 pounds, that's 100. And that's the amount of ounces that you should be drinking on a daily basis. This is not only good for preventing UTIs, but water is necessary for all your metabolic processes, from digestion to hormone balancing, immunity, even weight loss. So water is necessary. Drink lots and lots and lots of water. 50% of your body weight in ounces. Now, when you're drinking lots of water, remember, you're going to be urinating a lot more, and that's normal and it's good. But here's another key to preventing urinary tract infections. Make sure when you're going to the restroom that you're actually emptying your bladder completely when you're using the restroom. Don't just rush it. Sometimes we kind of are in a rush and we want to get out. Leaving urine in the bladder and not completely voiding it can create a hospitable environment for bacteria to set up shop and to multiply. So make sure you're emptying as much as you can. The next thing you do for prevention is drink cranberry juice. Or you can even take cranberry juice capsules. Cranberry juice contains type A proanthocyanins, or PACS, and they can prevent bacteria from actually sticking to the bladder wall. Now, here's something to pay real close attention to when having cranberry juice. Most of the cranberry juice that you're going to get from the grocery store contains a high amount of sugar. This is not going to help. It's actually going to make things worse. See, sugar tends to feed the bad bacteria, fungus, and yeasts that cause UTIs. So drinking a lot of cranberry juice from the grocery store is not the best thing. In fact, recent guidelines from the Journal of Urology recommended actually taking concentrated cranberry supplements instead of drinking the juice. And that's something that I would definitely recommend as well. Cranberry juice supplements can be taken regularly as a preventative, but they can also be taken if you have an active infection as well to help speed the recovery. So they're a really good thing to have on hand. Lastly, when talking about prevention, it's important to pay real close attention to your intimate life. It's good practice to void your bladder before and after intimacy in order to avoid any cross-contamination or the likelihood of a bladder infection. It's also important to keep in mind that if you're using a personal lubricant, use one that's water-based. The oil and petroleum-based products will create an environment that allows bacteria to actually hang out and multiply, and you don't want to have that. So now what do you do if you have a bladder infection? Well, the first step is to do everything that you would have done to prevent it in the first place. What that means is drink lots and lots of water, fully void your bladder, avoid sugar, and look to concentrated cranberry supplements. But there's a number of other supplements that can be taken to help speed the process and make the journey a lot more comfortable. The first is Brew Chew. Brew Chew helps disinfect the urinary tract during infections and naturally helps with painful inflammation that oftentimes will accompany the UTI. Uni Ursi is a natural yet powerful antimicrobial. Juniper's also been known to be an antimicrobial when you have a UTI. So when you use those two things together, they can be really powerful. Another supplement that you might want to consider is called D-mannose. It's a type of sugar that's found naturally in cranberries and other fruits, and it's one of the most researched and accepted supplements for urinary tract infections. All right, another great one is something called hibiscus flower. It's been used in Africa and Asia for urinary tract infections for hundreds of years, and it's known to coat and soothe the urinary tract. And what that does is it prevents the adhesion of the bacteria to the walls of the bladder and the urethra and helps speed the process of healing. In addition to that, you might want to consider dandelion root. See, dandelion root has also been shown to help clean out the urinary tract during an infection and speed the healing process. So dandelion root's a good one to add to as well. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of things that you can add for relief during a UTI, and sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. One of the things that I've done to minimize that overwhelm for my patients is to simply tell them, look, just drink 50% of your body weight in ounces every day, avoid the bladder completely every trip to the bathroom, and take a supplement that has many or all of these supplements in it all at once. For example, at davisnutrition.com, I formulated something called UTI Rescue. It's a supplement that not only contains D-mannose, but concentrated cranberry juice, hibiscus flower, dandelion root, and so on. That way you don't have to go to the store and buy 4 or 5 different supplements. You can simply take one that has absolutely everything all at once. Kind of makes it a little bit easier. Now, if you're somebody who's prone to getting urinary tract infections, it's probably a good idea to get some of this and have it on hand rather than trying to get it once you have the infection and try to have it quickly delivered to you. It's sometimes it can take up to 5 days from our shipping to get it to you. So it's one of those things I always recommend to have it on hand if you're prone to those. And of course, you can always go to your local nutrition store and get each of these individually and separately as well. You just can't get the UTI Rescue at anything other than davisnutrition.com. At the end of the day, where you get your supplements is completely up to you. The important thing is that you're taking a natural approach to your health and you're getting good quality supplements to achieve that. If our line of products helps you, that's fantastic. But our ultimate goal is to continue to make advanced clinical nutrition easy to understand and even easier for you to implement. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and sharing this video on your social media. Who knows who you may be helping by simply sharing. Until next time, remember, health is by choice, not chance.